Simon, a 22-all draw against the old enemy after such a back and forth game, and the way that the game ended, do you think it's a point lost rather than a point gained?
Certainly. Yeah, tough to take, to be honest. Yeah, we didn't start well. I thought we were really poor. Our middle were ordinary at best. Got rolled, to be honest. Bradford started well, started smart, and we're pretty good with the game plan and where they finished. Areas at field were smart. Then obviously we battle out with some like solid drops a kick, and he doesn't mean to, but he does. Then we get a dummy half error and all these little bits. We just camped down our end for ages. So we showed a lot of character really, just to swing that around and start winning that field position battle. And the tries came once we started doing what we practiced as opposed to playing the victim. I'll explain that now. I mean, I just think rugby league, there's bullies and victims. You have to make a choice which one you're going to be, and I thought that opening stage we were happy being victim and let them do what they wanted really. So yeah, we got back in, half time comes around, we're not in bad shape. Second half, I thought we were good, we managed it really well. I thought the tries were ordinary. The dummy half just one step and a pass. I think we've got our numbers wrong there, which is disappointing, so we've worked on that quite hard. Second one, a bit of tired defence where it sort of ebbed and flowed in the second half. We just ebbed their way for a bit. Got a try, but 22-20, I think it's ours to lose, and we almost did it. And it feels like that anyway, with it being a draw. Just moments aren't lost on one individual mistake, and there's plenty of them across the board. But in the 79th minute, if you cancel out what's come before you, we just had to be smart in that last minute, and we come away with the points. Instead, we come away with one, which yeah, it's a tough one, but I do think it's the story of our season, Mike. The individual errors just scattered across the field. We are very good at undoing our own good work.
It's a bitter pill to swallow after being in such a winning position so close to the end. Is there anything that you can do to kind of change that, or is it kind of all on the players to rectify that in training and the games going forward?
It's tough, mate, because we do prep well. Don't matter who it is, it could be dog and duck, we're going to prepare the same. The errors are not the same person, that we're scattering our errors around. There's a lot of really good stuff actually, coming off super negative. There's loads of good stuff. Adam O'Brien off bench were great. Brandon Moore playing big minutes, great. Zach McCum coming on playing in a position he's not played before was mega for us. I thought he turned the tide a bit second half. That's in amongst loads of good stuff. But yeah, we've got these errors scattered around that just hurt us, you know. And they weren't that many today, but the ones that we did make were pretty crucial. But in terms of changing it, fixing it, mate, we touched the ball a lot in training, so handling errors, you know, that's part of rugby, they happen, but we do make sure we touch the ball plenty. We practice loads on all areas, I suppose. And they're scattered, aren't they? It's not the same person. I've said it before, I repeat myself again, but if it's the same person, it's a very easy fix. When it's scattered around, and the penalties are scattered around, it's not the same person every time. It's harder to fix, to be honest, but collectively, individually, just need to keep looking to improve. You know, week on week, still a long way to go. And irritatingly, this is a really long answer to your question, but irritatingly, come out, have a chat with lads, check the scores out, see who everyone's got on today. Keighley lose, Newcastle get the win. Barrow beat Widnes. Fed beat London. You're looking at it going, again, the league's thrown up these results where giving us opportunities, or the Bradfords, or you know, or your Widnesses, your London's opportunities to stay in this fight and climb the ladder, and none of us is finding the right level of consistency. It's really frustrating, but you know, you stop, you fail, don't you? So we just keep going, getting on Tuesday, good review of that, pick out the good, the bad, the ugly, and we move on. But yeah, it was a really hard one to take. That obviously saw Bradford celebrated like they'd won at the end, and we all moped around like we'd lost. Tough old game. Yeah, I thought we left it out there.
We didn't lose, we drew. It's a point extra. We still keep pace with playoff rivals, with a few winnable games, you would say, coming up. Do you focus on the positives of the game, like you say, Adam O'Brien got man of the match today, Zach McCone did well. Do you focus on the positives rather than dwell on the negatives?
Yeah, definitely. We always do. We don't just look. I could do a 5-minute video and just show them every error, and they're on the floor in there now. I'll just knock them down again on Tuesday. We can't dwell on it too long. We'll have to identify some areas we need to improve on, and we will. But as you said, yeah, there's loads of positives in there. There's some really good stuff in it. I think Woody's finding his feet now. Kyle doing a better job for us there. And you know, across the board, there's some really good efforts. It was a really good, gritty old derby, I suppose. Effort and intent on display from both sides. It was like theirs was greater, ours was great, and it went a bit like that. But yeah, it stings a bit.
Ben Crooks on debut today. How did you find his performance?
Crooks was great. I thought showed some toughness. Most of his carries were out of that back corner when they was kicking into Salter. Did a pretty solid job on them. Thought his experience told at times, come up with some good stuff. I think it's just a matter of time getting used to each other, but I definitely think it's a quality addition for us.
And lastly, big travelling support from Halifax fans today. What's your message to them going forward?
Don't despair. Keep going as we will. Yeah, they've been great this year. Again, I don't mind repeating myself on this because they deserve some airtime, but thick and thin. And this one feels like a bit of a thin day, doesn't it? We feel like we could have won, but they've been really good this year, and I'm sure they'll continue to support us, but it'll never be for lack of effort. We just need to tidy up some areas which will give us a better chance of taking the points week on week.